we are live here at Running for Heroes. This is in Winter Springs. And I'm live right outside of their location here in the city of Winter Springs. And what an amazing group of people. So what this is, Running for Heroes, obviously a foundation that does a lot for the community. Let's hop out and just talk about this, because I think that's where we get all the information, right? So come with me here. Attach you guys here. We'll go for a little walk. So you guys have heard Running for Heroes time and time again, and we talk about them constantly because of the amazing things that they do here for not only our local law enforcement, but law enforcement across the country. And it did all start originally with an individual, a child really, who was running a mile for every single law enforcement officer killed in the line of duty. But they felt the need that obviously we shouldn't wait till our law enforcement officers are killed and they don't go home. Why not step up and raise the funds so that this organization can then help our first responders through the process, through the recovery, through getting back out on their feet. And let's be real, as a cop myself, there are things that don't get covered when you do get hurt. There are things that workers' comp will fight you through and through so that they don't award you the rightful respect that you deserve after getting injured on the line of duty. And there are organizations out there that step up, and Running for Heroes is one of them. So I want to bring over my buddy Tim here. He's a member of the board for Running for Heroes. We're doing this GoPro style, my friend. All right, so you could hold on to that, let the audio catch you.
Okay.
I know who you are, Tim. These guys don't. Introduce yourself a little bit, your roles, your responsibilities here for Running for Heroes.
All right. My name is Tim Nazaro. I'm the president of the board of directors for Running for Heroes. Been serving with the board of directors since January of 2020, and obviously my other side gig is I'm a sergeant with the Orange County Sheriff's Office.
Side gig. So
side gig. I do this for the fun, and I do the Sheriff's Office work to pay the bills.
Awesome. How long you been with the Sheriff's Office?
25 years.
Yeah, you're a sergeant. What area do you cover with the Orange County Sheriff's Office?
I work on the International Drive side of town.
It's busy. Very busy. I know. So Orange County Sheriff's Office, they do a lot. They have their hands in a lot of different foundations, and from the concerns of police survivors to allowing their deputies to be members for Running for Heroes like this. Mm-hmm. Your roles and responsibilities specifically when it comes, because I see you everywhere, man.
Yeah, as the president of Running for Heroes, I'm basically in charge of the board of directors. We help with the various things that require voting for approval. Those include our various grant programs, to include the Injured First Responder Grant Program.
So making sure the money's going where it's supposed to the people that deserve it the most.
Correct.
So today, it wasn't about running a mile.
Not at all.
We didn't lose anybody, thank God.
Thankfully.
Why were we here today?
Today we were here because for the 51st time as an organization and as a mission, we wanted to award an injured first responder with one of our grants to allow them to continue to heal and hopefully one day return to duty.
Awesome, man. I really appreciate you guys having me out here just to really highlight. We had every Seminole County agency here, plus you guys from Orange County.
There was a lot of brass here today.
A lot of brass, stripes everywhere, and then community support. There was a lot of elected civilians that were here.
Correct. We had city council members. We had the mayor of Winter Springs, Chamber of Commerce. A couple of the publications and media outlets were here as well.
Awesome. Tim, I appreciate you guys, everything you do. It's nonstop all the time, and for me to come out and just highlight it, that means a lot.
Glad to have you.
I appreciate it. So next we're going to have an individual who has previously received this award, and it's no award anyone wants to receive, but it definitely helps out. So Brian, come on up. This is going to be, his name's Brian Potters, with retired.
Yeah.
Right? Medically retired?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
With the Brevard County Sheriff's Office.
Yes, sir.
A little bit about you first, man. I like the hat.
Oh, thank you.
Better than the trooper hat thing, right?
I can't compete with the trooper hats.
Yeah, right?
Started with in law enforcement back after 9/11 started. Joined the Marine Corps. Did a few years there. Moved to Florida about 7-8 years ago. Worked in Brevard County and City Titusville, and then I went to the Sheriff's Office. And then come up into August of 2021, I was involved in a ambush shooting in West Melbourne, where the bad guy jumped out of the back of the car with a rifle, attacked us. The video went kind of all over the place, but lucky enough to survive that, given a second chance. Then in February of 2022, I was the grant recipient for Running for Heroes for the injured first responder.
If you don't mind, how'd that work out? So obviously life changes.
Instantly, yeah.
Immediately after that shooting, obviously you realize, okay, my life's going to change for me, but so's my family.
Sure.
And how did you come in contact with Running for Heroes? How'd that work out?
I don't know, because I got a phone call one day, and it was Chad Cartledge, and saying, hey, you're our first responder grant recipient. I'm like, I don't know what that is,
right,
but it sounds great. And then we set up the time, and we all met, and got, just like Officer Eubanks, got to meet the family. We spent the whole day with them, went to their house, the Cartledge's residence, and hang out with Zachariah. Great kid. He started all this, and now I've just seen it grow and grow and grow.
What's it mean for you, for organizations like this, to be embedded within the community and to receive a check for $10,000?
Well, Chad told me I was the first Florida recipient, so that was like, oh wow, because I thought it had been around a lot longer. It's only been, 4 years now?
Right.
So that meant a lot to be the first Florida recipient, and then watching throughout the last 2 years how the organization has grown. I mean, it's just it's going to become vital,
right,
to law enforcement and first responders, because you're right, workers' comp doesn't cover everything. There's not a lot of places you can go and say, hey, I need help with this. I need the gas money to get here. I need a break.
Right. Just a break.
So 10,000 may sound like a lot to a lot of people, and it is, but it can also go real quick too when you're injured and you can't work and you don't know what to do next.
Wow. Brian, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. Just seeing you drive all the way over here from Brevard County,
yeah,
I know that means a lot for people here, and I don't think a lot of people in this room knew you were standing in the back.
They did not know.
And to be a recipient,
yeah,
to be here alive, standing about it, I know as a news guy it means a lot, but as a cop and as a fellow brother it means a lot to me too.
I appreciate that, Steve.
I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. So obviously you've seen what it means for people to give these awards. You've seen what it means for people to receive them and be present. But now, here with an individual who flew across the country to be here, and he didn't have to. And he sure as heck doesn't have to talk to me. So first and foremost, sir, I appreciate you. I'm going to pin this on your shirt if you don't mind. You've got that built-in. So a little funny about your polo, real quick. So I had some polos made for me.
Okay.
And everyone started making fun of me because of the clip that I got. And they're like, oh, leave it to Steve to have these tactical polos. And I'm like, it has more than one use, right?
Yeah.
Sunglasses, all that stuff.
Right.
So, sir, first, it's an absolute blessing that you're standing in front of me.
Thank you.
If you don't mind, no one here in Central Florida has any idea about your past or anything like that with the Anchorage Police Department. Who are you? Why are you here today?
Yeah, Dominic Eubank. So I work in Anchorage, Alaska. The side of town I work in is Fairview. If you know where that is, then I'll be surprised.
Yeah,
but,
right. At least you might know where Anchorage is.
Yeah. So it's a fairly busy part of town, and I work for Anchorage Police still. I've been out on leave since my injury, and looking to go back to patrol. I work mid-shift patrol, which is night shift from 11 p.m. to 9 a.m. and love it.
How long have you been with the Anchorage? When did you become a police officer?
So I started in June of 2016, and so I think I'm 7 years in now, working on 8.
Nice. Raised, born, Alaska?
Yep, born and raised in Kenai, Alaska. So graduated from high school there, played junior hockey out of state in Iowa, of all places.
Who would have ever thought you'd be coming to Florida for an award, not vacation, right?
Right, yeah.
I know we go to
Not me.
Alaska just for fun, my fiance and I, but to live there, that must be a unique experience.
Oh, it's a blast.
How's it being a cop?
That's fun. I mean, fact of the matter is it just makes things a little bit simpler at times because you just assume everybody has a gun.
Right.
And then you're never surprised when they do. But no, I mean, it's no different than anywhere else. It's just, just living, we're just a big outdoor state, and so you deal with a lot of different people and, a diverse population.
I'm sure. How long ago was your on-duty incident?
March 18th, 2022.
So almost a full year and a half, coming up on 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
and it was domestic violence related?
No, it wasn't. So,
Okay, so
it
what
was
occurred that
it was
day?
just a disturbance between two neighbors.
Okay.
You know, it's still ongoing, so
Okay.
gotta be
Yeah,
like
no
a little
worries.
stingy with the details.
Yeah,
But
of course.
it was a disturbance between two neighbors, and the individual, the suspect, he had warrants for his arrest already, and so when we went to contact him, he started shooting through walls and things like that, and unfortunately I caught 3 rounds in the process.
So, you know, any of us in law enforcement understand there's evil, there's problems, but not everyone always wants to acknowledge it. Part of what we do here as News 6 is talk about reality.
Mm-hmm.
And as a former full-time cop, I find it surprising, and I'm going to ask you kind of a personal question. As a law enforcement officer in the climate of the world we're in, it's got to feel pretty amazing that a organization on the complete opposite side of the country is recognizing you.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting, right? Like, if you look at, like, let's say the past 10 years, I feel like the scope, especially in relation to law enforcement and how it interacts with the community, I feel like that's come under scrutiny a lot, and it's, you know, really only the negative aspect, which is, I would say, less than 1%. Right? And we all know that, but the fact is everybody wants to act like that's the norm. And that is what it is. I'm not going to get political on it, but it's pretty wild, though, to, like, my mom has been following these guys when they first started.
Yeah.
And, you know, she told me about it, and I kind of checked, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then to see what, like, you know, what it's grown into now is pretty crazy. And then the fact that, you know from working in law enforcement, right, is like, you don't think you're going to be the one that gets hit, and then you do, and now I'm standing in Florida with all of you guys is pretty wild.
When they reached out to you and said, hey, look, we want you to fly, we're going to fly you out to Florida, we're going to house you up, and we're going to present you a check for $10,000. It's got to help out.
Oh, yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, you know, like, and they wouldn't have needed to do any of that, obviously. Like, I'm very thankful, you know, very appreciative, and any other word you want to use. But, you know, it's pretty humbling, to say the least.
Well, as a cop, as a news guy, I appreciate you allowing me just to come chat with you for a few minutes. You don't know me from anybody next to the ants on the ground here, but I could tell you came to the right place. Seminole County specifically, and Running for Heroes does a lot. This is a substation for all the local cops. They pull up here in the middle of the night, and they do so much. And I really just hope you enjoy your time here and stuff. I'm going to wrap this up.
No worries.
And I appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Hope you heal well, my
Appreciate
man.
it.
Thanks, brother.
Yep,
I'm going to
thank
take
you.
this off you. Thanks, brother. So, guys, you can see, like, it's nonstop. It is a real movement that happens here for Running for Heroes. And they take the time to recognize law enforcement officers from across the country, really, who are doing things we will never hear about here in Orlando. And I think that's pretty amazing when you start to think about it. A local homegrown organization that started with a student running a mile for every law enforcement officer killed thought, we can do more. We don't have to wait until an officer is killed. We don't have to wait till their life is over in order to recognize them and give them something, just a little bit of something from our heart here in Central Florida. And that's what Running for Heroes is doing. It's pretty amazing. Let's hop back in the truck real quick. So I hope you guys get the time to watch this later and really tune in and see what Running for Heroes is doing. It's just truly amazing. I love Seminole County. I love what they're doing. The show of support that was here from Seminole County Sheriff's Office, Winter Springs, Altamont Police, Orange County Sheriff's Office, all that was just absolutely amazing. And it's a nonstop thing that it's constantly happening. So appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have an opportunity to really watch this later over at clickorlando.com, News 6 Plus, and the News 6 app. Always remember, Seminole County is always doing great things up here and supporting their law enforcement officers. So you should as well. Have a great day. Check you guys later.